Hello and welcome to another Will It Forge Watching Paint Dry stream. Picking up on our dragon today. If you take a look at the screen, of course, we got the how it looked after the last time. Sorry to any that usually watch on DLive. DLive just does not seem to be responding well. We do have a new setup this week because a couple weeks ago we were still having camera clarity issues. Now I've taken a couple of looks, and this one seems like it has been doing better overall. Though please let me know if it still gives you issues on either if we get issues on sound or if we get issues on the video. Some of this is just going to be the focal length of it and how we're rigged up, so hopefully it's going to be watchable. Otherwise, welcome aboard. Glad to see everybody that stops by. Which YouTube right now tells me is 2. We'll see where that goes from here. As it is, we're going to pick up with the dragon we had last time. Aside from finishing out the scales and everything, I did these pieces on the legs and the spine of the back. Now I found a few of those on the other side of the tail that need the same attention. I've got a spot here where it just needs a little bit more paint. And then I've got to finish off the feet and start getting to the space around the dragon. Now, lest we have concerns, because this is the metallics I've been working with, I do have some other paints to work with, so I don't think I'm going to run out of colors today or even on the next stream. But here's fingers crossed, and that's not even getting into the watercolor, markers, crayons, the tubed paints. I have got a lot to work with here. So if it doesn't make an appearance here, it's going to make an appearance somewhere in the future, I'm sure. We did try to prepare for the stream by drugging the cats. We'll see how well that holds out. I don't have as many beverages prepared for myself, so I might have to actually take a few breaks this stream. We'll kind of wait and see how it gets. Otherwise, we're still safe in our Corona bunker here in Michigan. Had some construction going on in one of the neighboring apartments yesterday, and so to make the punishment fit the crime, they gave me construction noise, so I figured they deserved to hear me singing Take On Me at the top of my voice. Don't worry, I won't do that to you, at least not yet. Got to get the crowd a little bit more addicted to you, so to speak, before you take on things like that. So we're gonna go with our regular hit a mix of music. I may try and find a few new things on YouTube, at least new stuff by the same people. I might throw a few new things in there, we'll kind of see. Otherwise, again, welcome to the stream. Share it out to your friends. Sorry we're only on YouTube today, that's a D-Live thing. According to Restream, we're sending the data, they're just not processing it. So maybe they'll come live later, we don't know.
Good evening, everyone. Please welcome to the stage Atlantic Records recording artist Straight No Chaser.
Just keep your eyes on me. I said you're holding back. She said, shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said, ooh, ooh, shut up and dance with me. Teenage dream, I felt it in my chest as she looked at me. I knew we were bound to be together, bound to be together. She took my arms, I don't know how it happened. We took the floor, she said, don't you dare look back, just keep your eyes on me. I said you're holding back. She said shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said ooh, shut up and dance with me. and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said, ooh, shut up and dance. Don't you dare look back. Just keep your eyes on me. I send her holding back. She said, shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said, ooh, shut up and dance with me. Shut up and dance with me. Yeah, shut up and dance with me. Oh, shut up and dance with me.
Now, for most of the work today, I do have brushes ranging from size 4 down to 5 zeros. And we're just going to kind of see which one fits where I'm doing what when. And if you followed that, congratulations. Otherwise, just doing a little bit of touching up around here. Because one of the things I've got the magnetics. Yeah. Don't take the painting anywhere near an MRI. I've got the metallics in here, but I do actually want them giving a good appearance and sheen for a lot of this. So it's a challenge you get when you're working with the tail end of the paint, among other things. And I spotted a couple of places that need just a tad bit of touch up before we get into doing the legs. Thankfully, with plenty of brushes and plenty of paints, I'm good to go the distance on this one. Just had to cover a spot of green there. A spot of green here. And we'll call that good on those for now. Since I'm eager to keep going on this. Still keeping the dragon as gay as monkey's hair. What can we say to that? Not much. Let's see. I think I know what I'm going to do with the legs. They're not really made to be divided on all of them, so need one that's going to have the paint to go the distance on the legs. Let's do this one right here. We're going to make the legs really bright. Hey, W.R. Costin, welcome and greetings. Working on the picture, and I just realized that the segment that I'm working on next isn't going to be nicely in your view unless we turn this around. Which means, of course, being careful for the places I've already painted, because otherwise I paint myself. But that's half the battle, or the name of the game, or however you want to cover that base, right? So I line up a few tunes. Line up a few tunes and get into it.
There are dinosaurs in Jurassic Park. Oh no, they just escaped. The power went out, setting them all free. Run for your lives. He's just 8 and home alone, so innocent little cat. Idiot burglars are after only 8 years old. Torch their head, freeze the stairway, hit them with paint cans and call police. Found here in our backyard was left by his spaceship, eating the tiny alien just wants to phone home. Was cheating with DiCaprio, an iceberg caused the ship to sink, but that strange hotel had played on as most everyone drowned. Indiana, not the school. He was a cowboy with a science background. He was searching for a cub while fighting pirates and bad guys and running from boulders in a cave. Life is a box of chocolates, he said, and he really had to pee. Not on the run, he sat on that bench, waiting to see Jenny. They had a child that came from the sixth sense, 10 people he could see.
Bruce was dead that whole time. What a great movie.
Have you seen this movie?
I have actually.
We'll show you how this song is used in movies that show your favorite show. When Walter and Eddie are running in slow.
Ah. Didn't paint myself, but gonna have to have some touch up on the feet.
Nobody until you wrote this great story. The underdog is in the end, always yelling. Running up the stairs, push a tag, bunch of cows to train. Oh, Philadelphia. For
see your Bruce Springsteen one last time and raise you one. A
John
Bon
Bon Jovi.
I need some help singing though. It's been a long run. It's all the same.
The names have changed every day since they're wasting away another place.
When the faces are so cold.
Travel high to get back home to my cowboy on a steel horse I ride, and I'm wanted, dead or alive, dead or alive.
It's time for gonna die. The unit's been on strike. He's down on his lucky star.
Who's overtime?
She knows that early. But working for a man, she brings home a faithful love. She says we gotta hold on to what we got. It's
Doesn't make a difference if we make it or not. We got each other, and that's our life for love.
Sing with me. We'll give it a shot.
Living on a prayer to find. Did I swear? Oh, living on a prayer, living on a prayer.
Shout to love, and you're too late. Darling, you give love badly, badly. You play my part and you play your game. You give love badly, badly. You give love. We gotta hold on to ready or not. You live on the right when that's all that you got. Oh, we're halfway there.
Run up slowly, you got to do what you want. Only rolling, he got heads down to his knees. Got to be a joker, he just know what he please.
Do you wear those shoe shine he got? Toes and football he got. Oh, he fingered these shoes. Coca-Cola, he said, I know you.
You know me. You got to be free. Come together right now over me. So hard to see. Come together right now. Come together right now. Come together right now over me. And just spotted another couple of spots that could use a little bit of touch-up as I'm going along, and so grab the right brush, hopefully the right color, and drip a little bit of paint in there. Yeah, that should be the color for that spot. Benefits of getting somewhat predictable in the order that you're doing things, but I am thinking of clear coating this picture when it's done to protect it and everything. That's going to add a little bit of a sheen to everything too. That's one leg down, other than touch-ups. Going a single color with those makes it a little bit easier, though I'm still trying not to paint through too many of the lines. Did I not know that people with great taste in music are evil? I did know that. I just own it. So I figure too late for me to be good, so I'll just take what I got. Go with mixing it up a little bit, because I do have some that I use without permission, but they're from live recordings of performances from Straight No Chaser, who openly advocates the sharing of their recording and sharing from their shows. The other stuff that I tend to do is from Peter Hollins. There's a link to his website and his channel in my in the stream description and everything. He's given me permission to use his work in my stream, so I use a lot of it.
Carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more. Once I rose above the noise and confusion, just to get a glimpse beyond this illusion. I was soaring ever higher, but I flew too high. Though my eyes could see, I still was a blind man. Though my mind could think, I still was a madman. I hear the voices when I'm dreaming. I can hear them say, carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary hands to rest. Don't you cry no more. Masquerading as a man with a reason. My charade is the event of the season. And if I claim to be a wise man, it surely means that I don't know. On a stormy sea of moving emotion, tossed about him like a ship on the ocean. I set a course for winds of fortune, but I hear the voices say, carry on my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Let your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more.
Hey Hollins family, thank you so much for watching Carry On My Wayward Son. You guys have been requesting this forever, literally over 1,000 times. I'm not putting up all the comments, but you wanted this song, so here it is. I searched the internet far and wide to find the best guitar player I could find. Steve came to my rescue. He also put some awesome vocals on the chorus. I really hope you enjoyed this one. It was a lot of fun to pretend I was a rock star for about this long. I couldn't be making these videos without your amazing support on Patreon. If you would like to know more about being on there with me and joining the journey, this is the site. So
Hey, RVA Dar. As far as how this isn't a copyright strike, I've been very lucky on strikes and claims. Some of my stuff does get a claim thrown at it, which doesn't do a whole lot to me because I'm not making any money off this stream anyway. But as far as an actual strike, I've got a license from this artist to use any of his material from his YouTube channel in my streams and in my videos, is how I generally don't get too many strikes on that. I do get some claims, and sometimes they're just stuff I have to dispute because it's somebody completely unrelated claiming it. Sometimes I mute the music afterwards. Sometimes I just leave it. You generally, unless you're like totally out there, you generally lose against the House of Mouse. Also, Peter Hollins does get represented by some other groups for some of his performances, and if they put a claim on there, I tend to just let them know, hey, I do have a license and permission to use it, but you know, if they really want to push and keep the claim, I'm not gonna fight on that because, as I said, I'm not making any money on this. I have fun. I'm getting used to just general public speaking a little bit through the buffer of the microphone and everything like that, but I'm not making any money on this channel. And if I was, and Peter Hollins wanted to claim the revenue because most of the revenue because I use a lot of his music, I really wouldn't mind. But he's satisfied mostly with me just linking to his channel and giving him the credit on that and everything. I link to his channel and his website where you can buy his CDs. If I wasn't poor, in part from buying paints right now, I would actually buy some of his CDs. But this channel has been consistently a mix of some art, some gaming, chat, and music, and I'm gonna kind of stick with that. What I've been trying today is one song and then turn to the chat, one song and then turn to the chat. So previous streams I've done long cuts of music that I do sing along to, and you might hear me in there sometimes. We'll see. If this is the one I think it is, this is gonna get me a claim.
I never thought hyenas essential. The crude and unspeakably plain, but maybe they've a glimmer of potential if allied to my vision and brain. I know that your powers of retention are as wet as a warthog's backside. But as quick as you are, pay attention. My words are a matter of pride. It's clear from your vacant expressions. The lights are not all on upstairs, but we're talking kings and successions. Even you can't be caught unawares. So prepare for the chance of a lifetime. Be prepared for sensational news. A shining new era is tiptoeing nearer.
And where do we feature?
Just listen to teacher. I know it sounds sordid, but you'll be rewarded when at last I am given my dues. And injustice deliciously squared. Be prepared.
Yeah, be prepared. We'll be prepared. For what?
For the death of the king.
Great idea. Who needs a king? No king, no king. La 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 la.
And yes, there
Will be a king.
Hey, but you said.
I will be king. It's great that we'll soon be connected. The king will be all time adored. Of course, quid pro quo, you were expected to take certain duties on board. The future is littered with prizes, and though I'm the main addressee, the point that I must emphasize is you won't get a sniff without me. So prepare for the cool of the century. Be prepared for the Marquis scam. Meticulous planning, tenacity spanning, decades of denial. Simply why I'm the king undisputed, respected, saluted, and seen for the wonder I am. Yes, my teeth and ambitions are bad. Be prepared. Yes, our teeth and ambitions are bad. Be prepared.
Thank you so much to my patrons for allowing me to do these videos, you guys.
The funny thing, that one I said is going to get claimed. That one's actually going to get claimed directly by Disney for its similarity to the Japanese version on the VHS. So it's not the similarity to the original or anything like that. It flags because apparently they think it's too similar to the version of Be Prepared on the Japanese version of The Lion King released overseas. Ridiculous, I know, but when it comes to something like that, you don't end up winning a fight with House of Mouse, so I just tend to mute it afterwards or leave it be. Getting really close to done with the dragon itself. Yes, our beautiful dragon who is as, you know, he's as gay as monkey's hair. And then we'll turn him around and start working on the background. If you catch the beginning of the stream and also the end card, it does end up with a picture of where we left off at the end of the last stream. I get a picture in good light, and that becomes my start, end, and pause card in the next art stream. Something I'm thinking about for the art streams after the dragon is done is actually some freehand painting, so you can see that when I say I can almost draw convincing stick figures, you can see how true that is and make fun of me. Otherwise, I just come here to have fun on the stream. This is kind of relaxing to do, which doesn't make a lot of sense if you look into the way my brain works, but hey, Take what you can get and run with it. Oh, and W.R. Costin, I think I was sunk long before I hit 6 degrees of separation with you. I've shown up on Quippers United on Jack Gunsky's channel a couple of times, and if that isn't FedExing yourself for damnation, there's not a lot of things that are. And as usual, do have to apologize for some of the background noise. I don't know how much comes through on the video, but with the temperatures outside and my neighbors who like it to be 75 to 85 year round, I got the air conditioner going so I don't die. And that's only slightly hyperbolic. Yeah, whatever relaxes you. The only thing that this doesn't relax is my lower back from leaning forward, but everything else, this is a nice, easy going thing. I get to be mildly creative, and at the same time, music, chat. See, most of my friends live in my computer, so it gives me a good way to talk to some of them. Get some hair bands in here. We're not gonna take it. No, we ain't gonna take it. We're not gonna take it anymore. You got no right to choose it. This is your life, you choose it. This is your life, this is your song. Here I go again on my own.
Going down the only road I'll ever know. Like a trip that I was born to walk alone. Well, I made up my mind. And I ain't wasting no more time. Wanna rock and roll all night. And party every day. Wanna rock and roll all night. And party every day. Keep shouting, you keep shouting, yeah. Wanna rock and roll all night. And party every day. Wanna rock and roll all night. And hear all this little girl. Heaven too far away. Closer to it every day. No matter what your preference is, we'll follow it.
Every rose has its thorn, and love has its dawn.
Just like
Every cowboy sings the same sad song. Every rose has its thorn.
she got a smile and seems to me remind me of childhood memories when everything was fresh and the bright blue sky. Whoa, whoa,
Pledge pin, not sure what we're talking about there. If you're talking about the wristband there, that's just because I'm a diabetic, and sometimes you need to let other people know of that in case of emergencies. My streaming uniform is sweats and a t-shirt, so... But I wasn't a part of any fraternity or anything like that in college. I didn't have that kind of clout. I did well academically, but that's just me. And now, for the moment, Mr. Dragon is done. I might be doing some touch-up here and there, especially to the blue on the feet, where I got some of the gold on there. Maybe hit a couple of places where I want it to shine a little bit more. Oh, no. I take that back. I got one more foot to do. I thought there were 4 in the picture. Oh, reference to a Twisted Sister video? I have limited experience in that direction, though. Yeah, I occupy some space on your phone. I occupy some space on YouTube. I occupy a couple of terabytes on my own computer. That's what ego gets you. Actually, that's what recording your streams and making videos gets you, and I do make videos on the side too. I'm overdue for 2 different videos. One on this channel, making something in the laser, which is where the Willet Forge comes from, my Glow Forge laser. The other one is the work I've been doing on narration. I've been slack on doing the editing and finishing because I've got The Telltale Heart by Edgar Allan Poe recorded. I just don't have the video finished and ready to publish, which is... well, I gotta own it at this point. It's just been laziness. I'm not just crippled, I'm lazy too. It's a bad combination sometimes. We'll do another one that's probably going to get claimed. That one's likely to get claimed because it is actually their studio recording and not one of their live performances. I get the occasional live performance claimed by somebody who doesn't own the copyright, and I always win that dispute. Of course, obviously, I didn't just grow up on one set of music. I have very eclectic tastes. Sometimes it shows, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it serves me well. And sometimes it's good for torturing noisy neighbors. Comment on the cult of ego, but I'm usually tend to be more self-deprecating, and friend is like, I wish you wouldn't do that, stop doing that, stop being so self-deprecating. Like, I was deprecated long before self came into the mix, okay? I don't exactly see what I'm doing here even as incredibly artistic. That's the funny thing, is what I'm doing is just kind of glorified coloring. Just using watercolor paints, and the medium instead of print on paper is actually a design engraved with the laser into the wood. And then I just try to stay between the lines as much as I can, which is tricky because some of these lines, some of these spots are actually, let's see if I can find a spot. There's one spot right, no, that's not on the screen. There's a spot in here, there's a couple of spots through the face and around where you're dealing with, it's about the thickness of a human hair, and I'm painting with paint carried in drops of water, which is a little bit bigger, so it's been an interesting mix and process. And I get a text because somebody watches the stream sometimes. Making fun of me? Stop being so self-deprecating. Not making fun of you, just digging on myself. And I told you before, I was deprecated long before self came into the mix. So, as far as Mr. Dragon, I got all 4 feet now, and legs. So, until we come back to the dragon for touch-up, and for doing the lines, I now have to switch off of the metallics and start painting around, which is back to, I need to pick some colors. Thankfully for picking colors, I've got this courtesy of a YouTube order. That's one of several. I also do have a YouTube gift list out there. I don't think I got it posted anywhere right now, but people can buy me stuff if they really want to be generous and gift, which I'm not asking for, but I let you know it's there. Can buy me stuff to use in the art streams or use in my laser or both. So now again, I'm to the one, pick a color, and 2, start picking areas to use the color in and being careful not to stick my arm in the wet paint. Thankfully, the watercolors do dry pretty quickly in this, because I keep my place really dry, but it does take a little bit of time yet. And if I really want to do larger spaces first, because they're easier to touch up than the smaller spaces. So that might make the color selection kind of interesting. So I'm going to line up a couple of Peter Howlands and do just a little bit of pondering and get started on this.
We are #1 on 2 different Billboard charts. That means that this album is pretty good. If you liked this one, you have 13 more to listen to.
miss my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp. I turned my collar to the cold and damp, when my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence. And in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more, people talking without speaking, people hearing without listening, people writing songs that voices never shared. No one dared disturb the sound of silence. Fool said I, you do not know, silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you, take my arms that I might reach you, but my words like silent raindrops fell and echoed in the wells of silence. And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made, and the sign flashed out its warning in the words that it was for me. And the sign said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls, and whispered in the sounds.
I know. What is this, Will? You're doing like leaves with green traditional colors now? Don't worry, I'm still throwing out the color wheel. I'm gonna mix it up. Just doing a little bit more natural-ish so that I can make the rest more destructive to the eye, so to speak. And anyone who doesn't know what that's a reference to, all the colors come out of my own head as far as what goes where, and that's how we get a dragon that's as gay as monkey's hair. And my first rule is what looks good to me, and my second rule is you take the color wheel and you throw it out the window. So I get a lot of non-traditional colors and things, and stuff that some would consider an assault to the senses. Truth is, I frequently consider it an assault to the senses too, but I am my biggest critic when it comes to stuff like that, so if I'm punishing myself, it just kind of makes sense. I just wanted to get a little bit of some green in to kind of like offset everything else. At least I hope that's how it's gonna go.
I'm not a stranger to the dark. Hide away, they say, 'cause we don't want your broken parts. I've learned to be ashamed of all my scars. Run away, they say, no one will love you as you are. But I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words gonna cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come, and I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. Another round of bullets hits my skin. Burn away, to say, won't let this again. We are bursting through the barricades and reaching for the sun. Yeah, that's what we've become. I won't let them break me down to dust. I know that there's a place for us, for we are glorious. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come, and I'm marching on to the beat I drum. Not scared to be seen, I make no apologies. This is me. This is me. And I know that I deserve your love, 'cause there's nothing I'm not worthy of. When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send a flood, gonna drown them out. This is brave, this is bruised, this is who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come. Marching on, marching on. I make no apologies. This is me. Thank you.
Okay, so just a little bit more of this, and then we're gonna go off the rails a little bit. I got too much in there. And that's why I'm gonna end up chasing this with a black oil paint pen, because when you're working in detail so fine with any paints, but especially with watercolors, you're going to really overfill some places and you're going to lose your lines, and you kind of want to bring them back. It makes the picture really pop when you do that. The colors are just more vibrant and stand out more. We'll do this one in green too. Okay, now we need to do something a little brighter, I think. Let's do... Let's do this one.
Christmas time.
Creepy stalker hiding in the shadows makes girls sing using lots of vibrato. Is he there to hurt her or be her vocal teacher? And why is it only happen late at night? How did this ever seem alright? The show causes me agony, not to mention my allergies from these cats all around. Yes, it's misery, men and women dressed up as cats. Wish these memories would fade away. 525,000 boys have sung this. 525,000 versions were bad. Everyone in Rent was dying or homeless. Thanks to the writers, we all left sad.
This song will be stuck
In your head, tomorrow, it'll be stuck. Annoying, annoying, this song is annoying. We're singing it anyway.
We're at war, another day across our country. Instead of fighting, we just dance and sing. I don't think that helps anyone, but obviously it's way more fun. We're at. Did you see the new movie? Who was in charge of casting? Everyone can sing. Why did they choose Russell Crowe? Why did they think he could sing? Seriously, he was all wrong. He should never sing again. Voices monotone. Auto-tune can't save you now. Did they not think we won? The music builds, the end is near. We're at war. This revolution, 'cause our military sucks. We don't have any. Now, sure, you already won. It's ever learned to use a gun. We'll lose this war, but we'll be sure to nail this choreography. For Broadway, one day home.
That's right, that song will be stuck in your head tomorrow, maybe tonight. Who knows? Still trying to be very careful not to paint myself. I think so far I've been successful. Working in all this small space, so I got the small brush, but it's really tough to mix the paint with the water using the small brush. And it's like, of course, I could be really mean. I could do to you what I did to my neighbor yesterday and take on me at the top of my lungs. Although I suspect that the Geneva's Convention might have something to say about that. Not that y'all are a captive audience, but well, that'd be one way to boost my YouTube numbers, is a captive audience. Just tie some people up and set up their computers. You're gonna watch this stream here. We'll let you go when you're done. When we're done. Sorry, we just need more viewers and more likes and everything. We'll make it all good later if you survive it. Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting weaves. And then it gets really quiet again. The joys of air conditioning, but I can't run the studio without it. Trust me, it gets hot.
Are you coming to the tree? They strung up a man, they say, who murdered 3. Strange things have happened here, no stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree, or a dead man called out for his love to flee? Strange things that happen here, no stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree where I told you to run so we'd both be free? Strange things have happened here, no stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree where a necklace of hope side by side with me? Strange things have happened here, no stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree where I told you to run so we'd both be free? Strange things that happen here, no stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree? They strung up a man, they say we're murdered 3. Strange things that happen here, no stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging
hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree where dead men call out for his love to flee? Strange things that happened here, no stranger would it be if we met at midnight in the hanging tree. Are you coming to the tree?
Knocking my brushes off and everything. But I think I'm gonna have to be moving this thing around quite a bit as I do this. Especially in reference to the light and what I'm trying to do right here, which is laying this color in one of the other ones. And we're gonna lay it right there too, because that one is ugly. The working with water drops on live TV. This is a little different. Wash the brush. And then, I still have this spot right there. I definitely want something different for that. I know, we'll use this one right here. Cat moved, but he's sleeping off. Dad gets nice every stream and gives them a little bit of nip because drugging them down really helps out making the streams work smoothly. Well, this time I've got some catnip spray that I use on one of their toys, and he took a face full of catnip spray. And right now he is zonked. Not quite dead to the world. If somebody hit the doorbell right now, he'd be under the sink in about 2 seconds or less, but given the choice, he's out of it right now. Okay. We're an hour and a half in and doing pretty good considering where all this started. Oh, I just spotted a back foot spot that didn't get taken care of. So I'm going to grab the metallics real quickly and clean that up before continuing on with leaves. It's called How Did I Miss This Space Here? And I think I'll just have to cop to being blind as well as crippled. Hey, that would explain my sense of color. But no, I tested, I'm not colorblind. I'm just wired a little differently.
In the quiet, misty morning, when the moon has gone to bed, when the sparrows stop their singing, and the sky is clear and red, when the summer ceased its gleaming, when the corn is past its prime, when adventure's lost its meaning, I'll be homeward bound in time. Bind me not to the pasture, chain me not to the plow. Set me free to find my calling, and I'll return to you somehow. If you find it's me you're missing, if you're hoping I'll return to your thoughts, I'll soon be listening, and in the road I'll stop and turn. Then the wind will set me racing as my journey nears its end, and the path I'll be retracing as I'm homeward bound again. Bind me not to the pasture, chain me not to the plow. Set me free to find my calling, and I'll return to you somehow. Bind me not to the pasture, chain me not to the plow. Set me free to find my calling, and I'll return to you somehow. In the quiet, misty morning, when the moon has gone to bed, when the sparrows stop their singing, and the sky is clear and red, when the summer ceased its gleaming, when the corn is past its prime, when adventure's lost its meaning, I'll be homeward bound.
Hey, thanks for the like, Kyler. Sorry to hear that you're working today, but at least a paycheck, right? Still training that new guy? Clearly we're making some progress today, and that, though, no matter what, the rule of the channel is we stop before Lords of the Night. The reason being because I don't want to run a channel with nobody on it, including the host. Just forgot what color I was dealing with. Aside from the air conditioning, it is very quiet here normally. That's what happens when the cats are napping. And that's why I tend to add music to it, because without a lot of conversation going on, I'd end up getting lost in the mix pretty quickly.
One, two, three.
Disney movies at the bar with stories that are bizarre, expensive toys that kids desire will bankrupt you. I have catfished a girl, hide and seeming, pretending, but don't tell princess that I'm a street rat, and truth we can't hide. I just met a great guy, but will my father approve of him? He's arranged my marriage to Jafar, which makes me want to cry. It's a fair one. Don't come beside me. Just take it very far away from everybody. Even though I barely know you, it's just me and you. It's just me and you. And I'm tired too. But he'll eat a boo. He'll eat my face in a light cartoon. Out in France lived a prince. He was super arrogant. An enchantress put a spell on him. His face would make you wince. Found a girl named Spell. Only chance to break the spell. Locked in his castle forever. Stockholm syndrome now or never. Talking clock, talking candle. You might shout too much to handle, and the service here is getting quite insane. They'll fill you up with free pie. Look at this stuff, isn't it neat? Too bad that all of it's wet and moldy. Wouldn't you think she's the girl who ruins everything? But who cares? No big deal. She wants more. She's trying to be where the people are, but her dad really hates those humans. Also be hard without those. What's that word again? Oh, feet. But Ursula made a deal for her voice, which would cause any man to rejoice. But how do they sing under the sea without gurgling? There was one goal to scare the crap out of every kid into listening to their mom and dad. The great circle of life until your mama hyenas who were hired by your uncle who wants to take your throne, but have no fear. This is a happy ending. 'Cause it's Disney and not real
That's what happens when a nice little drop of water invades what you're painting when you're working with watercolors. Definitely gives you a different effect. Well, for dealing with small spaces, making some decent progress here. Even using some colors I normally wouldn't. Because it's not that likely to see me do anything with a more pastel color, but we'll do what we do, right? At least when it comes to color selection, I'm gonna, I'll do me, and people will just have to cope. getting multiple drops of water on it, and I gotta be careful about that because that does mess with the paints already on it. Got people watching, but quietly. It's a little quieter than usual with Kyler working. But that's okay. Just see if I can pull up another song and
Everything you're about to hear is made by the human voice and mouth. And some claps. Yeah.
Some nights I stay up, cashing in my bad luck. Some nights I call it a draw. Some nights I wish that my lips could build a castle. Some nights I wish they just fall off. But I still wake up and I see your ghost. Oh Lord, I'm still not sure what I stand for. Oh, what do I stand for? What do I stand for? Most nights I don't know anymore.
This is boy, this is war. What are we waiting for? I didn't break the rules already. There's never one to believe the heart. So people are working hard to face this hard. That's alright.
In my bed tonight, stops my bones from wondering just who I am, who I am, who I am. Some nights I wish that this all would end, 'cause I could use some friends for a change. And some nights I'm scared you'll forget me again. Some nights I always win, but I still wake up, I still see your ghost. Oh Lord, I'm
Still not sure what I stand for. What do I stand for? What do I stand for most nights?
So this is it. I sold my soul for this. Washed my hands of that for this. I miss my mom and dad for this. No. I see stars. When I see stars, that's all they are. When I hear songs, they
It sounds like this world's come on.
well, is it 'cause that is all? I've been sinning, I'm born again. 10 years of this, I'm not sure if anybody understands. This one is not for the folks at home. Sorry to leave, mama had to go. Who the hell wants to die alone? I'll try to fear the desert sun. I'm breaking for my sister, the calm that she called love. But then I look into my nephew's eyes, then you wouldn't believe the most amazing things that can come from some terrible lie.
Crazy dreams for me usually involve, they usually involve my ex, Mrs. Forge, or one of my previous jobs, and only one of those three is in any way pleasant. Getting really close to done with some of this leaf detail. For now, at least. Because I'm not going into these leaves over here yet. Just trying to decide how much longer I'm going to be streaming today, because we are at 2 hours now. I might go a little bit longer, but I might want to let the paint that I've got on there have a chance to dry before I try to do anything significant moving out, because I'm either going to hit the paint over with the stuff I'm doing, or I will hit the point where I fail on the attempts not to stick my arm in it. Especially since I keep dripping water on the board. Which I guess is just me not being quite careful enough. Still trying to be careful with all the detail on this, and this picture has got a lot of detail to deal with. I said it before, I'll say it again, that's because I hate myself. And I get friends who are impressed with the results I get and everything like that, and think it is so creative and artistic and everything. It's like, you really, I just, well, you got the fact that I look at something like this and I sort of hate myself, so I'm gonna obviously go for something that's going to cause extra effort and grief. But I've got a good amount of patience, and I'm not bothered by the detail work. So as long as I can get the paints in there, I'll go ahead and do it. Doesn't mean it's a sign of liking myself, obviously, because, I mean, look at the picture I chose to do. I mean, I could be doing this with coloring designs made for middle school teenagers and everything, but no, I do it with these super complex adult coloring page designs. And the funny thing is, this on paper, I wouldn't want to try, and even with colored pencils, I wouldn't want to try and do this on paper unless the page was half again as big as this one is. So I don't know what their mind was on when they were drawing this for coloring and sharing it to print and color, but hey. Kind of nice, because their crazy is my stream. Well, my crazy is my stream too, but I mean, that's... Whether I'm doing art streams or game streams or what, you're going to get my crazy anyway. So, I mean, that's built in. That is No way around that. And then, of course, you got the speculations in the back of my mind, too, about different things. Like, if I was a rich man, I would still be streaming, that's for sure. I'd probably be doing more streaming, because if I didn't have to work for a living, it becomes doing the other stuffs you enjoy. Other stuffs I enjoy includes making videos and streaming and narrations. So I really have to get off my butt and finish some of the ones I've been working on. And this is what passes for motivational speaking around here. Will, get off your butt and finish your video. This has been Motivational Shorts with Will It Forge.
I didn't do it.
I must warn you, sense something strange in my mind. Situation is serious, because we're running out of time. It's all so beautiful, relationships they seem from the start. It's all so dear to me, lovers are together from the heart. It's driving me out of my mind. That's why it's hard for me to find. Can't get it out of my head. This circus and that girl is poison. She was more like a beauty movie scene. Said the melody, do you mean that I am the one who danced and floated around? It's Billie Jean, supposed to see. Be the one who danced and floated around. Billie Jean is not she's just a girl who thinks that I am the one, but the kid is not my son. But the kid
so far. She'll drive you right out of your mind. She'll sing you along when she sings. She'll make you think you're dreaming. You'll fall in love and you'll be screaming deep take my strong advice. Just remember to always think twice. Get the maximum magnification in there, trying to catch some of that detail without overloading it. It does look like the new camera is giving us some decent video to work from for this, which is nice. I don't know what happened with the old one, if there's like some damage to the lens that I couldn't see or what, but I'll come up with something else to use that one for. Maybe I'll have something where I want a blur effect or whatnot. We'll see. I know that this one gives you a larger field of vision, which can be nice or it can be annoying because it puts everything a little bit smaller on the screen. But I wasn't able to get the exact same camera that I had before, so it's, you pick something new and you run with it, right? Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna do one more. Do one more set of these. I'm gonna do this setup here with just the colors I've already done and the ones I've still got wet. And at that point, I think we'll call it a stream. Maybe throw one more song in, as I sometimes do, and then run out from there. I mean, we are over 2 hours. It's not a big, long 3-4 hour stream, but it's a few hours in, and then of course I don't have to worry about possible conflict of time with Lords of the Night on Ranting Monkey's channel at 9 p.m. Eastern tonight. Also, Kyler, who stopped by in the chat, he's got a regular game streaming he does Sundays at 4 p.m. Eastern on his channel. He's been doing Civilization 6 recently, which has got its own entertainment to it. It's fun to... Definitely fun to chat there with him playing and the conversations that go on, just as it's entertaining to have him in chat here. And of course, if you find a streamer or a video creator, content creator that you like, the stuff that they make, you know, give them a like, share their stuff, shout them out somewhere periodically, because YouTube doesn't do that for us. If you're not like CNN or ABC or one of those, YouTube just does not care about us, and they won't give us the time of day. Especially the folks that talk political stuff, they get shut down by YouTube on the regular, even when they provide valuable commentary or even news content that turns out to be more accurate than CNN. So, you know, you find them, you like them, give them a shill, you know, share them out. Know your audience, obviously, because, you know, some people are just going to turn hostile if they try watching videos from Ranting Monkey or even Scribe Light with his streams of commentary on TEDx. Well, you'll always have an example of just how stupid people can be if you watch one of Scribe Light's TEDx streams, where he responds and comments on them, because wow, some of those it's not common often that words fail me, but I kind of run out of words for some of those. You know, it's just wow. It's just wow. Got 2 more leaves here. I'm refreshing a couple of my colors with a little more water. That one, and then one more, and then we will call it good. I'll run one more song, because that's kind of the thing I tend to do. And then next week I'm gonna have well, odd numbered Saturday, so it'll be a game stream. I'll probably be doing another try at Civilization 5 to see if I can get somewhere without my next door neighbor destroying me and then getting in a 3, 4, 5-way war. Don't know. Well, we'll see what happens. So for our progress today, we got the dragon's legs. Okay, turn it around. So we get the dragon's legs, and then we got to doing a lot of these leaves around in the fine detail. I think that when I pick up next, I want to try and do some of these flowing designs, but we'll kind of see, because it's a matter of figuring out a color and a spot to put it. So we're gonna be a few weeks on this one yet, and then after this one, I do have an idea for some actual freehand art with some of my acrylic paints. Give you a slightly different perspective on the stuff that I do, and probably show you why I like sticking to designs too. But it'll be entertaining either way. You can either be in awe of my spaxistic moments or make fun of my ability or lack thereof there. We'll see where that one goes. Anyway, like I said, toss a song in, and then we'll start shutting down the stream.
When I am down and oh my soul so weary, when troubles come and my heart burden be, then I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can